Hello, everyone. This is Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist, with your numerology forecast for the personal year for June 2023. So, if you are new to numerology and you do not know your personal year number, I ask you to please pause for 1 second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, however many seconds it takes you to head over to FeliciaBender.com. Click on monthly forecast. There is a calculator there that will calculate your personal year number, or you could take a look right here in the description box, a very easy, quick manual way to calculate your personal year. So the reason I say this is because this forecast is based on the personal year number, not on your life path number. So those are two entirely different things in numerology. And I want to make sure you're at the right place at the right time listening to the correct forecast. So with that said, let's hop right into it. The personal year for June, it is a number 9 personal month for you. It's a 9 months. So one of the things about the personal year is this. Okay, you ready? So it is designed as a fun, joyful, creative year, full of socializing, full of activity, lighter attitudes, maybe a little travel, that sort of thing. It's a time, if you can swing it realistically, where you're supported in lightening up and just kind of breathing, just living life, enjoying life, just, really, really doing that, tapping into yourself in a way that perhaps you haven't given yourself a permission slip to do before. So it's a year focused on self-improvement. And yet I always like to talk about that idea, even that concept, because we can see that the concept of self-improvement is, to me, in some ways kind of innately flawed. Because what if yourself, that is supposedly something that you're supposed to be improving upon this year, what if yourself is just absolutely perfect as it is, and it isn't a project that is needing to be improved upon? So what if that were the case? So rather than self-improvement, it all really boils down to simply validating, welcoming, and developing what's already there. So the number 3 really can be seen as the number of authenticity. Authenticity. I think I didn't pronounce that correctly. So authenticity. That is what the 3 is all about. And it always demands that we get real with ourselves and we show up in our most authentic form. So the self-improvement comes in when we're like, we are so far away from who we really are. You're like, I have put on so many masks. I have so much crap, that's been layered on me that I don't even know how to chisel it off, right? Well, this year you get to attempt to chisel it off and get down to the real you, that authentic you who is just screaming to get out, right? So rather than self-improvement, it really is about allowing what's already there to come to the surface, to be acknowledged, to be developed, to be nurtured, and to be seen. So it's time to bring that authentic you back home, the one that might have gotten lost or, I don't know, derailed along the way. And how many of us haven't? So this is a common theme universally for all of us. Yet the down and dirty version of the personal year also has something to do with exposing emotional trauma. Okay, sorry to be, don't shoot the messenger. So it really is a year where even though you've got all this fun energy going on, underneath it, there's a little bit of a boiling point here. There's some emotional trauma that's going to kind of, be tweaked and come up, and working on this trauma and transmuting it and healing it is also part of the pathway of the 3 personal year. So the 3 also shows you where you might have some weak links with the way you express, with the way that you communicate. So the point here is to see those weak links for what they really are, and to develop different communication patterns that you can become happier with, healthier with, and more stepping more into, again, your authentic self. That is a beautiful and yet year-long activity that you get to do during a 3 personal year. So it is the true gift of the 3, and yet the aspect of that joyful, expressive number 3 gets a lot of press, and yet the more the deeper, darker crevices, the emotional trauma is more what we don't really talk about a lot, I find, with the 3. So even though the 3 is that vibe of fun, social interaction, expression, creativity, at its core, it really is a catalyst for digging into our emotions and moving them up and out. So the 3 personal year is truly a beautiful time to embrace all those unwelcome or maybe just inconvenient emotions that most of us have spent a lifetime avoiding, or stored them up, right, in a container somewhere, and now they're being released a bit. So this is a deep dive into your emotional life, and that's on your docket this year. So if these emo-based issues are a struggle, you might be feeling a bit fed up, maybe a little overwhelmed, or even maybe slightly depressed right about now. So I just want to extend out the leaf here, extend the leaf of peace, whatever it is, and just say, yes, it is not just you. It is the point of this energy is to bring this up so that you can work with it. Okay. The big lessons and opportunities reside really in emotional self-expression, in optimism, creating, your sense of optimism and hope, and infusing creativity into all things. And again, that self-improvement, revealing your authentic nature is really happening on all realms. So wherever there are gaps in your abilities to connect or express emotionally, these are going to be the challenge points that may very well be coming into play right now. So it's not really a matter of if, as a matter of what, and with what urgency or intensity those are going to come into play. So, and yet the issue is this: are you tapping into your and using your creativity to the best of your abilities? And I don't mean going out and being an artist or an actor, or I mean, you can. Again, 3 personal year is the year for the artist, okay, for creating, if you are an actual artist. And if you're not, it's your time to infuse your more playful creative spirit, your creative problem solving, no matter what you do and where you're going. So it's also going to ask you to work with your emotional life in an authentic and expressive way, to feel your feelings, express them in a healthy and balanced manner. It's going to even ask you kind of, are you even enjoying anything? Are you getting pleasure out of anything in life? This is going to press that point to you. It's like, this is a time to really enjoy things. And if you can't do that, it's going to come up and you're going to ask yourself, why? Why am I not enjoying my life? So June accentuates the emotional intensity, and at the same time, it's really likely that you will complete the preparations for some creative proposal or idea at this time. This project, or the groundwork for a project, is recalibrating itself so that something new or something expanded can come into view. And yet it's kind of like doing I don't know, a mastermind, or doing something where you got to throw everything on the table and, get it all out there and talk about it and decide what has potential, what doesn't, what's just a happy idea, and what needs to be tossed and what needs to be kept, right? It's that sort of energy going on right now for you. So potentially, instead of feeling upbeat about the resituation of your project or relationship or whatever this is that you're working with right now, you might be feeling a sense of unease, maybe fear, being totally out of control, that uncertainty, which leads to apprehension, right? It's like, oh my God, what, if this happens, what if, what, all of those things. So calm it down. So you're not skating on the surface right now. The expression, this communication, self-improvement is really formulating on a soul level. Again, you're in the midpoint of this very powerful 3 personal year. And that is how vital and deep and urgent it feels on the inside right now. So the energy of the number 9, which is your vibe for the entire month of June, is all about endings. The 9 asks you to take the opportunity to close out a few things this month that have been lingering and lingering some more, right? So if you are not fully and completely in right now, I would just say that most likely you need to be out. So if you've just been, I don't know, now's the time to know and to act upon that. So this is the month to allow some exit points for certain people, maybe situations that are really just no longer serving a positive function for you. It doesn't mean they have to be horrible. It doesn't mean it has to be super drama. It's just what's no longer working right now. And those can maybe make a smooth exit from your life at this point. So a business enterprise may also end or come to completion, right? During June, maybe this sneaks up on you. Maybe it's totally expected. Maybe it's just a project gets done and you get to pop the champagne cork and say, yay, been working on this project for however long, and now it's done. Now we're moving it into its next manifestation, right? And on top of that, potentially maybe a friendship, maybe an association can fall away or just shift its focus, possibly around June 9th or June 18th. And I really am always quick to do this disclaimer or to encourage you, please stay away from being scared or reactive about the idea that something might end or something might transition. Please see this as it is intended. Life is made up of changes. I mean, no duh, right? And yet, really, it is. It's a constant. It's constantly happening. And so new opportunities can only come into play after that old stuff is removed. So this is a month where some of that old stuff is going to be removed when things that have served their purpose, their purpose is served. Like Yoda would say that, right? I'm not going to do my Yoda voice. I'll spare you. Okay. No Yoda voice today, but Yoda would say that you gotta, when things serve their purpose is served. So the point that I'm really emphasizing is that a falling away, it can be dramatic or it can be super subtle. Have you ever had those moments where you've been chewing on some issue for what seems like for freaking ever, right? And then suddenly clarity arises kind of out of nowhere. It's like, how come suddenly I've been, vacillating? I've been so wishy-washy, and today I woke up and I have made a clear and definitive decision. I mean, have you ever had moments that seemingly rear up out of nowhere, where you act upon something you've always known you need to do, and yet you don't actually do it until that very second? I find that that's the something I'll talk to clients about a lot, about leaving a relationship or getting a divorce or something. You think about it, you come up with every possible scenario, and then you don't actually do it until the moment, the second that you do it. So this can be maybe fully disengaging from a toxic family member, to maybe a deeply internal shift that lifts a consistent feeling away from you. Maybe it's this constant feeling of unworthiness, maybe a constant fear, or some other deeply habitual thought or feeling that you can't remember living without, and now suddenly shift. right? All right, that's the 9, shifting it out. So it's a great exercise for the month and just overall to embrace on this core level the concept that your plan is unfolding all perfectly on time. You're not ahead, you're not behind, you didn't miss the boat, right? We simply have been conditioned to feel stuck or upset or anxious when it's not happening in a way that's fast enough or that we understand or that we can control or ultimately even that we approve of, right? I don't even know if I approve of the way that this is coming about. Well, there you go. This can show up as a completion of a project, and it can even come into form as an emotional completion of some kind, a decision made about how to handle a colleague, a letting go of some weird idea of how your family should be, right? That's a big one. Everyone should be the way I think they should be. Well, maybe they shouldn't. So sometimes when the 9 shows up, it just shows us that and allows us to go, oh, what if I let go of that? What if I forgave that? What if I, and it just offers an incredible level of shifting and changing and allowing a falling away of some long held pattern that you're ready to dissolve or place in that, compost pile. So in other words, it's going to be so worth it when you let it go, and you'll wonder how you could have hung on to it for so long, right? As soon as it's out the door. July is going to be a better time for starting something new, for igniting something. So close some doors this month so that you can be free and clear to open new ones in July. So that is your forecast for June. I ask you to head over to feliciabender.com, where you can find plenty of free resources, articles, and life path information. So in the meantime, have a wonderful June. And I look forward to meeting you back here to see what July might have in store for you.